Hello, everyone. A few weeks ago, I wrote an article about people with a secure attachment style. And this provoked a lot of reactions. I got a lot of messages of people like, oh, finally, someone's writing about this. I already thought I was the crazy one because if you're in a certain funnel, the whole social media is about how to make her text right back, how to keep him engaged, how to come on to her and get whatever. It's not based on people who just are meeting each other and everything goes well. Most of the time, when people are securely attached, when they meet another securely attached person, they just have a non-drama start a relationship and it goes further. Everyone has their things, but it's not so exciting. All my friends who are actually in lasting relationships, they all started without any calls to me like, oh, I don't know this guy. No, it was like you talk to your friends and like, oh yeah, I met a guy. Yeah, it's nice. And that was it. Like nothing more, nothing big. What people think is love is actually unbalance. For me, it took a while to find that out because I was dating a guy. And one day I was surfing and a wave held me under and I thought I would drown. And at that moment, I thought, this is how this guy makes me feel. This is actually not nice. But he was such a pusher and puller that every time I saw him, I didn't know what to expect. So it made me literally feel like I was drowning. So it was very good eye-opener, like, okay, this is not being in love. This is just anxiousness. Throughout the years, I learned a lot, but I still see people who mistake being in love for imbalance. People who are actually having long relationships, it looks like they meet and it's boring in a way because they're like friends. I think a lot of time imbalance is preferred over the friendship feeling because it's more drama and passion and makes you feel like you're all the time thinking about someone because someone is emotionally inconsistent. They keep on talking to you and you try to regulate that, or they just disappear and you're wondering what you did wrong. This is what happens with security attached people. They actually first look at themselves like, maybe I did too much. Maybe I should not have sent this text. Or maybe I was not giving enough security. It's very bad for securely attached people who are already a minority to have to deal with, like, maybe it's me. The first thing I want to address is when you are emotionally stable, you did your work, you don't have mentionable issues, you provide for yourself, you have a clear goal in life, and you have ambition, you want to grow. A relationship should be a plus, both for men and for women, because a lot of times, actually, someone costs you energy, you better spend on things within your control or at least building something. If you have a partner, this person is so close to you, it has such a big influence on the way you think, what you do, like even your career, personal development, or how healthy you are. It's such a big deal to choose the right partner. Not someone who's pushing, pulling, but someone who's just basically your friend. In modern dating, secure attached people are off the market because they find each other early and ride into the sunset, happily ever after. And what's left is dating websites, which actually enhances this behavior, is the anxious and avoidant people. And they match like crazy because they have this swing of pushing, pulling, chasing, walking away. And it feels like passion. It feels like being in love. They start with a bang and passion and everything, and then it collapses most of the time. Or they find a swing they can stay in for a long time. But in general, it's not, per definition, a healthy relationship. Of course, there are people also in securely attached relationships who break up. But I think 70% research shows, if I'm not mistaken, of the people on the dating market are avoidant or anxious. Avoidant means they want distance, they don't want to have too much emotional closeness, and anxious is like, I'm going to pull at you because I need reassurance. So what happens when a secure person meets an avoidant person? They think, maybe I'm too much, but they regulate the avoidant. So they are going with this, how much space you need, how less space you need. For the avoidant person, this feels amazing because they're like, oh, I actually have my space, until emotional closeness. When emotional closeness happens, that's when they back off. And then what happens with the secure attached person that thought they were dealing with someone who was secure, they're like, oh, maybe I did too much, maybe I said something wrong. Actually, it didn't. It became a relationship or a bond, an emotional connection. What happens with anxious people, it's like if you are a woman, you have a secure attachment style, and you meet a guy with an anxious attachment style, you will friendzone him. Because women like masculine men, hetero women, of course. Being anxious is not seen as masculine. So almost all women will friendzone immediately. And then the men who meet an anxious attached woman, a lot of time in the beginning are like, oh, this is nice, she's really into me, it strokes their ego. But then at the end they burn out because they have to regulate that. They have to give all the reassurance that they're there and they care. What actually securely attached people do, they try to go with the people in front of them because they are very empathic most of the time. And they first look at the problem within themselves. I know it's very popular to post all these quick fixes, but in the end, for example, in avoidant attached people, it's brain chemistry. It comes from either pursuing your career and being so career focused that your oxytocin is blocked. Or you have insecure childhood and your dopamine is dysregulated. The receptors are numb, basically. So it's not bad intention of both. It has a source, but it can be fixed. You can go in therapy, you can go to a coach, you can get help to actually fix it. But I think what a lot of times a mistake is, and this may sound harsh, it's like a partner tries to fix it and it drains you. A partner should add something to your life, not drain the energy out of you. So it's good to look at which attachment style you have. Some people will recognize parts of them in this. And then if it goes either to the avoidant or to the anxious, look into it and see what you can do about it. If it's really a big issue, go to a psychologist and look into your past. And who knows, you can find a securely attached person and ride into the sunset together. After writing this article, I came across a podcast, Modern Wisdom, and he interviews Adam Lane Smith. I'm, as a female perspective, not agreeing with everything he says, but it's quite on point. I would recommend you really to listen to the podcast. I will put the link online. Have a nice day and a nice attachment.